some journeys are not simply about the destination. An elderly monk once crossed the desert in search of the precepts. A seafarer set up a trilingual stele between the sea and sky, inscribing a vow of peace and the spirit of civilization.
A cultural pilgrimage that began in the Eastern Jin dynasty was originally undertaken to seek the true meaning of the precepts. By chance, this gave way to precious evidence of civilizations coming together. The eminent monk Fa Xian, already over 60 years old, set out with resolve on a journey of 10,000 miles, venturing west to observe the Buddhist Vinaya. Fa Xian spent almost 15 years traveling, trekking through more than 30 ancient countries to eventually retrieve 12 classics. Among them, 4 were from Sri Lanka.
Later, in his 80s, he immortalized this journey into Record of the Buddhist Kingdoms, the first key geographical document for Chinese people to explore the South and Southeast Asian countries.
Anuradhapura in Sri Lanka is home to a bustling flower market. People visit daily to choose only the purest flowers for their faith. These stems may be silent, but the devotion they represent is evident. This ancient land was the kingdom of Sri Lanka's first royal capital. It was also the stage for the emergence of Buddhism on the island nation. In the 3rd century BC, a tender sprig of the Bodhi tree was planted in this soil, marking the beginning of Buddhism's cycle, resonating with Sanskrit chants for over 2,000 years. According to legend, 1,400 years ago, the Buddha's tooth relic was hidden in the hair of Hema Mali, an Indian princess. Along with her husband, she brought it here. After that, the Buddha's tooth became a symbol of faith and a sign of royal authority. Kalanchie Ratnasiri Thero pursued a PhD in philosophy at China's Wuhan University. Since returning to Sri Lanka, he has been devoted to studying Fa Xian's academic experience here.
Fa Xian Pasha Hondo Paigoda Hershang Laida Hotamanju Saida Jagadipang.
Fa Xian wrote in Record of the Buddhist Kingdoms, "There are Buddhist tooth dwellings in the city again, all made of the 7 treasures." The Buddha's tooth was carried along the middle path, with offerings made along the way until it reached Buddha Hall of Habayagiri Monastery.
Only broken walls and ruins remain at this site now. Stone tablets and scriptures have weathered into wordless books. The words of Fa Xian, however, have echoed in China for centuries.
Those records were very important because after the Anuradhapura period, we had a lot of foreign invasions, and most of the recordings recorded on the palm leaf manuscripts were destroyed during these wars. So those Chinese records were very important for archaeologists and the historians to rebuild the Anuradhapura ancient city. Woman is han sunjing pasien pasha ni man kai kandau the pasien pasha the siang pansai uwe chance the somiao limial.
A search for the Dharma and the Way became the spark that preserved civilization. Civilization is built on mutual care and mutual fulfillment.
human history blogger Lau Mao has just returned from Sri Lanka. His trip to Tianjin explores porcelain exported along the maritime Silk Road. This plate was made for the sea. Its center hides a compass design. Patterns of heavenly stems, earthly branches, and trigrams surround it, as if cradling the world within, guarding ships from losing their way. Wu and Ji are missing, leaving only the hexagrams of Qian, Kun, Xun, and Gen. Heaven, earth, wind, and mountains, guiding directions, form a dialogue between ancient people and the sea.
那么中间呢，还有一个叫做“天下仪”这么一个字，它是说这个船在天地正中。我们一般解释认为它是使用者去祈求在海面上航行平安的这么一个意思。
For ancient people, seas were not barriers separating the world, but passages connecting nations. Sri Lanka is located at the midpoint of one such passage. From June to September, monsoons blew, taking Chinese porcelain, silk, and tea to the Indian Ocean. Toward the end of each year, the winds changed course, sending spices and gems east. The millennium echoes of the maritime Silk Road converge and circulate just like that to this day still.
我是斯里兰卡刘欢，这是我的故乡加勒，600年前郑和来到的加勒。
The ancient city of Gauls' sea breeze filled Liu Huan's childhood imagination with adventures from the east. In 2014, he began studying Chinese at China's Kunming University of Science and Technology. His childhood daydreams merged with reality and opened the door for him to really explore China.
第一次到中国的时候，必须要一个中国名字。但是我唱了一首歌过后，老师他跟我说，我把我最喜欢的歌手的名字给你，你是斯里兰卡刘欢。对。1505年，我们斯里兰卡是一个葡萄牙人的殖民地，葡萄牙语高楼是鸡。
After 3 years of study, Liu Huan returned to Sri Lanka and became a tour guide and influencer, exploring the streets and alleys of his hometown to find Chinese footprints buried in the depths of time. The National Maritime Museum in Galle stands quietly in the center of the small town. With blue and white porcelain, pottery, and ancient coins, it houses stories of prosperity from the maritime Silk Road. In the second floor's exhibition hall, Zheng He's portrait is particularly eye-catching.
More than 6 centuries ago, he led 7 maritime expeditions, with 6 stops at Galle port in Sri Lanka.
1505年葡萄牙人，1602年荷兰人，后来是英国人把我们斯里兰卡的珍贵东西带到他们的国家去了。但是我要跟你们说的重要的事情就是1405年郑和下西洋，当时100艘船，这么厉害的海军，关键是他们从来没有侵入过、征服过任何国家。
In the 7th year of the Yonglir's reign, the Ming Emperor ordered Zheng He to lead a huge fleet toward the Indian Ocean on a solemn mission to enshrine a trilingual stone tablet inscribed with Chinese, Tamil, and Persian on holy land in the South China Sea.
郑和为什么要去下西洋？郑和给了他自己的一个解释，叫做宣德化而柔远人，并没有看出来他是有穷兵黩武呀，他完全是用一种柔软的姿态去和远方的人们去交流。
In pursuit of this timeless artifact, Liu Huan paid Professor Wickramasinghe a visit. Together, they went to the Colombo National Museum to explore the trilingual stone tablet.
ඇත්තටම ජංග හය පාරක් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා මම දන්න විදිහට ලංකාවට. ඒ ආපු හය පාරෙන් ඇයි මෙයා මේම දෙයක් මෙයා එහෙ නංජින් වල මේක හදලා ඇයි මෙහෙට ගෙනා?
හැබැයි මේකේ තියෙන විශේෂත්වය තමයි භාෂා 3කින් ලියලා තියෙන එක. භාෂා 3කින්. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ කාලවල ලංකාවේ තිබිච්ච ආගමික ඔහුගේ ආගමනය සියලු ආගමිකයන්ට සියලු ජාතීන්ට සමානව පෙන්වන්න තමයි ඔහු මේ වගේ භාෂා 3ෙන්ම ශිලාලිඛනය කළා තියෙන්නේ. ලෝකයේ අපට තවම හොයාගන්න බැරි වෙලා තියෙනවා
This ancient stone tablet features elegant depictions of two dragons playing with a pearl. Two divine dragons hover, facing each other as they gracefully leap.
The inscription is surrounded by various Chinese patterns, including cloud and fret patterns, alluding to the tablet's origin.
It's inscribed with characters from 3 languages: Chinese, Tamil, and Persian. This demonstrates the respect the Ming Dynasty had for the coexistence and prosperity of diverse civilizations. It once stood atop a holy mountain near Gaur. However, over the course of Sri Lanka's history, it was submerged by time until 1911, when the stone tablet was rediscovered by chance in a culvert near Gaur.
这块石碑发掘出来的时候呢，是扣着放在了一个排水沟的上面。1587年的时候呢，被葡萄牙的殖民者给毁掉了，就被他们用来建筑这个教堂，用于建这种军事要塞、古堡等等等。
The life of a stone tablet has awakened the shared memories of 2 nations, which has deeply touched Liu Huan.
中华民族并不是好战的民族，他们一直要传播的是中国人的和平友好的价值观。阵阵晚风吹动着松涛，
吹响着帆铃声如电来。
Travel is generally seen only as a physical journey. Yet, throughout history, it's carried a spiritual longing for peace between civilizations.
Thanks to the efforts of Professor Wickramasinghe and colleagues from around the world, in April 2025, the Gaul trilingual inscription, left in Sri Lanka by Zheng He, was jointly nominated by the National Archives Administration of China and the National Library of Sri Lanka, and was successfully inscribed on the UNESCO Memory of the World International Register.
සියලු ජාතීන් සියලු ආගමිකයන් සමග සහයෝගීව ඉන්න ඕන කියන එක තමයි මේකෙන් අපිට පේන්නේ. අර විවිධ ආගමිකයන් එතන හිටියා. ඒතර එයා මේකෙන් පේන්නේ චීනයේ තිබුණු ආගමික සංස්කෘතික හැදියාව. 和平之道始于尊重.
Respect is a bridge spanning cultures, a torch that awakens goodwill and consensus, illuminating a peaceful path toward a shared future for humanity.